Have you ever wondered why you still toss and turn at night even though you think you're doing everything right for your health? Here's the truth. One common healthy habit many older adults swear by could actually be quietly stealing your deep sleep. It's something so ordinary you probably did it last night without a second thought. And it may be the reason you wake up at 2 or 3 a.m. staring at the ceiling. Today, I'm going to show you exactly what that habit is, why it disrupts your body's natural rhythm after the age of 65, and how a simple natural mix with ginger and a few familiar ingredients can help you drift into peaceful, uninterrupted rest in just 3 nights. This isn't about pills or expensive gadgets. It's about working with your body, not against it. Before we begin, I'd love to hear from you. Where are you watching this from, and what time is it right now? Please share your answer in the comments below. And if you enjoy this video, hit the subscribe button. And if you don't, just tap the like button anyway. Stay with me. The next few minutes could change your nights for good. Why older adults struggle to get deep sleep. After the age of 60, the way your body creates and manages sleep begins to change in quiet but powerful ways. Your brain produces less melatonin, the natural hormone that signals your body it is time to rest. At the same time, your circadian rhythm, your internal clock, shifts, making it harder to fall asleep early and stay asleep through the night. These changes are a normal part of aging, but they can leave you feeling restless even after a full 8 hours in bed. Your digestive system also plays a bigger role in sleep than many people realize. As we age, digestion slows down, and late evening meals can keep your body working long after you've turned off the lights. This can raise your heart rate, increase nighttime bathroom trips, and signal your brain to stay alert. Add to that the natural rise in stress hormones like cortisol, often triggered by health worries, finances, or loneliness, and your body may stay on high alert when it should be winding down. For those managing conditions like high blood pressure, measured in millimeters of mercury, or tracking their weight in pounds, these factors can quietly work against healthy rest. In Florida, I met a couple, Jim and Linda, both in their 70s, who had been struggling with poor sleep for more than a decade. They tried white noise machines, blackout curtains, herbal teas, even expensive mattresses. Nothing seemed to help for long. Jim often woke up at 3 a.m. with his mind racing, while Linda would drift in and out of light sleep, waking tired and achy. They thought it was just part of getting older until they learned that their evening habits, a late dinner and checking emails before bed, were fueling stress hormones and keeping their internal clocks out of sync. When they began eating earlier, dimming the lights after sunset, and using a consistent wind-down routine, their nights slowly changed. Jim started sleeping 5 to 6 hours without waking. Linda's mornings felt lighter, her blood sugar steadier, and her mood calmer. Sleep is not simply about closing your eyes. It is a cornerstone of brain health, memory, and heart function. Good rest helps regulate blood pressure, supports healthy weight, and keeps blood sugar within a safe range. When deep sleep becomes rare, your body misses the nightly repair work that keeps you strong and alert. The good news is, even if you've been struggling for years, your sleep can improve. By understanding these biological changes and making small targeted adjustments, you can give your body the signals it needs to rest. You are not powerless against the clock. With the right habits, you can still wake up refreshed, clear-minded, and ready for the day ahead. 1. Ginger, a familiar herb that's been overlooked for centuries. Ginger has been more than just a spice in the kitchen. It has been a trusted remedy in cultures around the world. In ancient China, it was brewed into teas to warm the body during cold winters. In India, it became a staple in Ayurvedic medicine used to ease digestion and calm the mind. Even in early American households, settlers valued ginger for soothing nausea, easing muscle aches, and adding warmth to both food and drink. Over time, though, many of us in the United States have relegated it to holiday cookies or occasional stir-fry, forgetting its deeper healing potential. Modern research now confirms what these traditions understood intuitively. Ginger contains natural compounds called gingerol and shogal, which have powerful anti-inflammatory effects. For older adults, these compounds can help reduce the subtle chronic inflammation that often contributes to joint stiffness, muscle soreness, and restless nights. They also relax smooth muscle tissue, which not only supports digestion, but can help the body release tension before sleep. In simple terms, ginger helps your body feel safe enough to rest deeply. One lesser-known benefit is ginger's ability to help regulate body temperature. As we age, our internal thermostat becomes less efficient, and sudden shifts in temperature can wake us from sleep. Ginger gently promotes circulation, encouraging warmth in cooler months and balance during warmer nights. For someone who wakes often because their feet feel cold or their body struggles to settle, this subtle effect can make a real difference. For older adults in America, it is important to use ginger safely. Most experts recommend around 1 to 2 grams of fresh ginger per day. That's roughly the size of a 1-inch piece, sliced or grated. Too much can cause digestive upset or interact with certain medications, especially blood thinners. It's always wise to mention it to your doctor or pharmacist before adding it regularly to your routine. I remember speaking with Joe, a 72-year-old retired mechanic from Texas who had battled poor sleep for years. His evenings often ended with a cup of black tea, which he thought was harmless. But the caffeine, combined with his habit of watching late-night TV, left him tossing and turning for hours. After hearing about ginger tea at his local community center, he decided to give it a try. Instead of black tea, Joe began slicing a 1-inch piece of fresh ginger and simmering it in a cup of water for about 7 minutes. He added a touch of honey for sweetness and drank it about 45 minutes before bed. On the very first night, he noticed his legs felt less restless. By the third night, he was sleeping 6 straight hours without waking, something he hadn't experienced in over a decade. Joe told me he felt like he had found a missing piece of the puzzle. His mornings became lighter, his mood steadier, and he even noticed less stiffness in his knees during his morning walks. It wasn't a miracle pill or an expensive gadget, just a small, consistent change that honored his body's needs. The lesson here is simple. Sometimes the answers we seek are already in our kitchens, quietly waiting for us to remember them. Ginger, with its warmth, gentle strength, and deep history, can be a powerful ally for older adults seeking better rest. You do not have to give up on peaceful nights. With the right approach, even a humble root can help guide you back to the kind of sleep that restores your energy and lifts your spirit. 2. Pure honey, nature's gentle helper for restful sleep. Honey has been treasured for centuries, not only for its sweet taste, but also for its quiet ability to support health in ways science is only beginning to explain. For older adults, One of its most important benefits is helping to stabilize blood sugar levels through the night. When your blood sugar stays steady, your brain feels safe to relax and can release melatonin, the hormone that tells your body it's time to rest. Without that stability, sudden drops in blood sugar may wake you in the middle of the night, leaving you staring at the ceiling in frustration. Pure honey works differently from refined sugar. It contains natural sugars that are absorbed more gradually, along with trace minerals and antioxidants. This slow, steady release of energy prevents the sharp spikes and crashes that processed sweeteners often cause. It's a subtle support, but for someone over 65, even small improvements in blood sugar control can mean a deeper, more restorative sleep. Not all honey, however, is created equal. In many grocery stores across the United States, you'll find bottles labeled honey that are actually blends of honey and corn syrup or other additives. These diluted products may taste similar, but they lack the natural enzymes and nutrients that give honey its health benefits. True raw honey will often crystallize over time, a sign that it hasn't been overheated or overly processed. When choosing honey, look for labels that say 100% raw or pure, and if possible, buy from a trusted local beekeeper who can tell you exactly where it comes from. For most older adults, the ideal amount is about 1 tablespoon, roughly 21 grams, taken 30 to 45 minutes before bedtime. This gives your body time to absorb the honey and begin producing melatonin as you prepare for sleep. You can enjoy it by itself, stir it into warm ginger tea, or drizzle it over a small slice of whole grain toast. The key is moderation, especially for those who need to watch their blood sugar closely. Linda, a 70-year-old retired teacher from California, once told me she had nearly given up hope of sleeping through the night. She had tried white noise machines, herbal supplements, even rearranging her bedroom, but nothing seemed to keep her from waking around 2 a.m. Every night she would get up, make a cup of decaf tea, and read in the dim light until she felt drowsy again. The pattern left her exhausted in the mornings and unable to focus during her volunteer work at the local library. After hearing about honey's gentle effect on blood sugar and melatonin, Linda decided to make one small change. She began replacing the teaspoon of sugar in her evening tea with a tablespoon of raw clover honey, adding it to her ginger infusion about 45 minutes before bed. Within 3 nights, she noticed something she hadn't experienced in years: sleeping 5 to 6 hours without waking once. After 2 weeks, her early morning awakenings were rare, and she found herself waking naturally at sunrise, feeling calm and clear-headed. Linda told me that beyond better sleep, she felt less anxious at night. "It's like my body finally trusts it can rest," she said. That trust, built from a simple, natural habit, gave her a renewed sense of control over her health. The lesson is simple but powerful. When we choose pure, unprocessed honey and use it thoughtfully, we give our bodies a gentle, natural signal to wind down. For older adults navigating the challenges of aging, this small change can be a step toward reclaiming peaceful nights. You don't need to overhaul your entire routine. Sometimes one sweet, honest spoonful is enough to begin the journey back to deeper, more restful sleep. 3. Ceylon cinnamon. A warming spice for circulation, comfort and sleep. Cinnamon has been a treasured spice for thousands of years, valued not only for its sweet, warming flavor, but also for its quiet, healing qualities. For older adults, One of the most important benefits of cinnamon is its ability to gently improve blood circulation. Better circulation means warmer hands and feet, a more comfortable body temperature, and a calmer nervous system, all of which support deeper, more restful sleep. It also helps the body manage blood sugar levels, preventing the spikes and dips that can cause nighttime wakefulness. And for many, the familiar comforting aroma of cinnamon alone is enough to relax the mind after a long day. There are two main types of cinnamon commonly sold in the United States: Ceylon and Cassia. Most grocery store cinnamon is Cassia, which has a stronger, more bitter flavor and contains higher levels of coumarin, a natural compound that in large amounts may cause liver strain. Ceylon cinnamon, often called true cinnamon, has a lighter, sweeter taste and much lower coumarin levels, making it safer for regular use, especially for older adults. If you want the benefits without the risks, look for products labeled Ceylon cinnamon from trusted brands or specialty stores. When it comes to adding cinnamon for health, more is not always better. Experts suggest about 1/4 teaspoon, roughly 0.5 grams, of ground Ceylon cinnamon each evening. That small amount is enough to deliver its benefits without overloading your system. You can stir it into warm ginger tea, sprinkle it lightly over oatmeal, or mix it into a small cup of warm milk before bed. The goal is to make it a soothing nightly ritual, not a heavy dose. I remember speaking with Robert, a 75-year-old retired firefighter from Ohio, who struggled with waking up multiple times each night. His main complaint wasn't just the broken sleep. It was the cold, almost numb feeling in his feet that seemed to pull him out of rest. He had tried wearing socks to bed, using extra blankets, even heating pads, but nothing kept the cold away for long. One winter evening, after hearing about cinnamon's warming and circulation-boosting qualities, Robert decided to add a pinch of Ceylon cinnamon to his nightly ginger tea. He didn't expect much, but within 3 nights, he noticed his feet stayed comfortably warm through the night. More importantly, he stopped waking up because of the chill. Over the next week, his sleep became more consistent, and he found himself waking in the morning without the heavy, groggy feeling he had grown used to. Robert told me that this small change gave him more than just warmth. It gave him confidence that his nights could improve without complicated treatments. He now looks forward to his evening tea as a moment of calm, a time to slow down and prepare his mind and body for rest. The lesson is gentle but clear. For older adults, especially those who struggle with circulation or restless nights, Ceylon cinnamon can be a safe, natural ally. It's not about making drastic changes or chasing quick fixes. It's about finding small, sustainable habits that work with your body's needs. By choosing Ceylon over Cassia, keeping the amount modest, and making it part of a soothing bedtime routine, you can enjoy the warmth, balanced blood sugar, and relaxation this spice offers. Sometimes, the smallest pinch of the right ingredient can make the biggest difference in how you sleep, how you feel in the morning, and how confidently you face each new day. How to combine 3 simple ingredients into the deep sleep recipe. Bringing together fresh ginger, pure honey, and Ceylon cinnamon creates more than just a pleasant evening drink. It forms a gentle, natural aid for better rest. The proportions are important because they balance flavor, health benefits, and safety, especially for older adults. You'll need a 1-inch piece of fresh ginger peeled and lightly crushed to release its juices. add 1 tablespoon of pure raw honey, about 21 grams, and 1/4 teaspoon of ground Ceylon cinnamon, which is roughly 0.5 grams. These amounts are designed to work together without overwhelming your system or causing unwanted side effects. The preparation process is simple but should be done with care. Place the crushed ginger in 1 cup of water, about 8 fluid ounces or 240 milliliters, and bring it to a gentle boil. Let it simmer for 5 to 7 minutes so the water absorbs the ginger's active compounds. Strain out the ginger pieces, then allow the liquid to cool slightly. When it's warm, but no longer steaming, stir in the honey and cinnamon. Adding these last prevents the heat from damaging the honey's natural enzymes and preserves the cinnamon's delicate aroma. The best time to drink this is 30 to 45 minutes before bedtime. That gives your body enough time to digest the drink, absorb its nutrients, and begin shifting into a restful state. For many, it becomes a calming ritual, a signal to the mind and body that the day is ending and it's safe to slow down. There are a few common mistakes to avoid if you want the best results. Some people use too much ginger thinking more will work faster, but that can cause stomach upset or heartburn. Others add the honey while the tea is still boiling, which destroys its beneficial properties. Using cassia cinnamon instead of Ceylon is another mistake, as cassia contains higher levels of coumarin, which can be hard on the liver if consumed regularly. And finally, drinking this immediately after a large meal can keep your digestive system too active, making it harder to fall asleep. I think often of Nancy, a 74-year-old retired nurse from Oregon who struggled with both poor sleep and stiff aching joints. Her nights were filled with tossing, turning, and waking up every few hours. She tried various herbal teas, over-the-counter sleep aids, and even changed her mattress, but the relief never lasted. When she heard about this ginger honey cinnamon blend, she decided to follow the instructions, exactly resisting the temptation to alter the recipe. Nancy prepared her drink each evening while listening to her favorite jazz records. She boiled the ginger, cooled the water before adding honey and cinnamon, and sipped it slowly in her favorite chair by the window. By the 3rd night, she noticed something she hadn't felt in years: falling asleep easily and staying asleep for nearly 7 hours. Over the following weeks, she also realized her knees felt less stiff in the mornings, making her daily walks more enjoyable. For Nancy, this drink became more than a recipe. It became a comforting part of her evening, a moment of peace in a busy world. She told me she looked forward to it, not just for the sleep, but for the warmth, the flavor, and the quiet reminder that small intentional actions can make a big difference. This is the heart of the recipe's success. It's not a quick fix or a magic trick. It's a gentle, consistent practice that works with your body's natural rhythms. For older adults, especially those who have tried and failed with more aggressive approaches, it's a way to regain control over their nights without fear or frustration. If you choose to try it, keep the process simple, follow the proportions, and make it part of your nightly routine. With patience and care, you may find, like Nancy, that the right mix of ginger, honey, and cinnamon can guide you back to the kind of deep healing sleep that restores both body and spirit. Why this recipe works in just 3 nights. What makes this simple combination of ginger, honey, and Ceylon cinnamon so effective is not magic. It's how it works with your body's natural systems. When you drink it before bed, it gently activates the parasympathetic nervous system. the part of your body responsible for rest recovery and deep relaxation. For many older adults, this system doesn't switch on as easily as it once did, often because of chronic stress, health changes, or disrupted sleep patterns. By helping to quiet the fight or flight response, this recipe gives your body permission to shift into a calmer state where deep sleep is possible. The ginger plays the first key role. Its natural compounds improve circulation, warming your body from the inside and helping muscles release tension. Better circulation means more oxygen and nutrients are delivered to tissues, which not only supports healing, but also signals to the brain that the body is safe and ready to rest. The gentle heat from ginger also helps regulate body temperature through the night. An important factor for older adults who wake frequently because they feel too cold or too warm. Ceylon cinnamon adds another layer of support. Along with its own circulation boosting effects, it has been shown to help balance blood sugar levels. Stable blood sugar at night prevents sudden drops that can wake you with a jolt of hunger or anxiety. For those managing conditions like prediabetes or type 2 diabetes, even small improvements in nighttime blood sugar stability can make a noticeable difference in sleep quality. Then comes the honey, not just for flavor, but for function. Pure honey provides a slow, steady release of glucose to the brain, preventing the dips that trigger wakefulness. It also supports the natural production of melatonin by helping the brain relax and shift into a sleep-ready state. The combination of these three ingredients creates what doctors call a synergistic effect. Each element works on its own, but together they create a stronger, more reliable outcome. Dr. Melissa Grant, a naturopathic physician in Colorado, has recommended this recipe to many of her patients over 65 who struggle with staying asleep. She explains that while ginger and cinnamon help the body's circulation and warmth, the honey supports the brain's energy needs during the night. When combined, they reduce both physical and mental triggers for waking up, making it easier to stay asleep for longer stretches. She often sees improvement within the first week, and in some cases, like many of her patients, noticeable changes after just 3 nights. For older adults, this kind of gentle, natural solution can be especially meaningful. Many have tried prescription sleep aids only to experience grogginess, dizziness, or other unwanted side effects. Others feel discouraged after years of broken sleep and believe nothing will work for them anymore. This recipe offers a different path, one that's safe, accessible, and rooted in both traditional wisdom and modern understanding of how the body functions. If you decide to try it, remember that consistency is key. Drinking it at the same time each night helps train your body to associate the flavor, warmth, and aroma with winding down. Pair it with other calming routines, dimming the lights, turning off screens, or listening to soft music, and you give your nervous system even more reasons to relax. The real power of this recipe lies not only in its ingredients, but in the hope it restores. For someone who has been waking every hour for years, getting even one night of deep, unbroken rest can feel life-changing. And when it happens 3 nights in a row, it begins to rebuild confidence that peaceful sleep is still possible. That belief alone can set the stage for lasting improvement. With the right balance of warmth, circulation, blood sugar stability, and nervous system support, this simple drink can help you reclaim the deep restorative rest your body has been missing. It's proof that sometimes the most powerful solutions are the simplest, and that better nights are still within your reach. Recipe variations for different health needs. One of the strengths of the ginger honey and cinnamon bedtime drink is how easily it can be adapted to fit different health conditions. No two older adults have exactly the same needs, and small changes can make a big difference in safety, comfort, and effectiveness. By tailoring the recipe, you can keep the benefits while making it work specifically for your body. For someone living with diabetes or carefully monitoring blood sugar, the most important adjustment is reducing the honey. Instead of using a full tablespoon, which is about 21 grams of sugar, you can start with 1 teaspoon, roughly 7 grams. That still adds gentle sweetness without significantly raising blood glucose levels. To replace some of the flavor, add 2 or 3 thin slices of fresh lemon after the water has cooled slightly. The bright citrus note refreshes the palate, provides vitamin C, and aids digestion. The acidity can also help balance the warmth of the ginger, making the drink pleasant even with less honey. Carol, a 69-year-old from Arizona with type 2 diabetes, tried this change after years of avoiding sweet drinks. She was surprised to find her fasting blood sugar readings stayed within her target range, and she finally felt comfortable enjoying an evening ritual without worry. For those managing high blood pressure, the goal is to keep the calming effect while avoiding too much stimulation. Cinnamon, while beneficial in small amounts, can mildly stimulate circulation and warmth. Using just a pinch, about 1/16 of a teaspoon, instead of the full quarter teaspoon, is often better. You can replace the missing aroma by steeping a chamomile tea bag along with the ginger during boiling. Chamomile has gentle sedative properties, helping to lower stress and prepare the body for sleep without affecting blood pressure. Bill, a 76-year-old from Michigan, had struggled with restless nights and occasional spikes in his evening readings. After making this adjustment, he noticed not only that he fell asleep faster, but that his evening blood pressure stayed more consistent. He began looking forward to his cup each night, seeing it as part of his health plan instead of a potential risk. For those who often feel cold in their hands and feet, a common concern among older adults, increasing the ginger slightly can make a noticeable difference. Instead of a 1-inch piece, try using about 1.5 inches sliced or lightly crushed. Adding 2 or 3 whole black peppercorns to the boiling water will enhance circulation even more. Black pepper naturally complements ginger's warming properties and can help maintain a comfortable body temperature through the night. Marie, a 73-year-old from Vermont, had been waking up multiple times because her toes felt icy. Within a week of making this change, she noticed her feet stayed warm under the covers, and she stopped waking from the cold. She told me the warmth felt like a gentle blanket from the inside out. When trying these variations, it's helpful to keep a simple sleep and comfort journal. Write down which version you tried, how your body felt in the evening, and how well you slept. Over a few weeks, you'll begin to see patterns that help you fine-tune the recipe to your own needs. If you take medications or manage chronic conditions, always check with your doctor or pharmacist before making any significant changes. Even natural ingredients can interact with certain treatments. The most important takeaway is that this recipe is flexible, and your health situation doesn't have to keep you from enjoying it. Whether you need to watch sugar manage blood pressure or warm cold feet, you can make gentle adjustments without losing the comfort and benefits of the original drink. For many older adults, this adaptability is empowering. It shows that you can still take control of your sleep health, making thoughtful choices that respect your body's needs. With a little experimentation and attention, you can find the version that leaves you waking in the morning, rested, warmer, and ready to greet the day with more energy and peace of mind. Habits that help the recipe work at its best. While the ginger, honey, and cinnamon drink can make a big difference on its own, pairing it with healthy sleep habits can take the results to another level. Think of the recipe as a helpful tool and your bedtime environment as the foundation that lets it do its job. By making a few simple changes before bed, you can help your body relax more deeply, stay asleep longer, and wake feeling truly refreshed. One of the most powerful changes is reducing blue light exposure at least 1 hour before sleep. Blue light comes from phone screens, tablets, computers, and even some bright LED bulbs. It tricks your brain into thinking it's still daytime, slowing the release of melatonin, the hormone that helps you fall asleep. For older adults who already produce less melatonin naturally, this can be an even bigger obstacle. Switching to warm, dim lighting in the evening and setting screens aside can signal to your body that it's time to wind down. Some people also use blue light blocking glasses, but simply turning off devices an hour before bed is often enough to notice a difference. The next habit is keeping your bedroom at an optimal temperature, between 65 and 68 degrees Fahrenheit. This range supports the body's natural drop in core temperature, which is necessary for deep sleep. If your room is too warm, you may toss and turn or wake feeling restless. If it's too cold, your muscles can tense and you might wake with stiffness or discomfort. Using breathable bedding and wearing light layers can help you adjust without overheating or feeling chilled. Even a small change in temperature can transform how quickly you drift off and how long you stay asleep. Another simple but powerful technique is the 4 to 7 8 breathing method. This involves inhaling through your nose for a count of 4, holding the breath for a count of 7, and exhaling slowly through your mouth for a count of 8. This practice calms the nervous system, lowers heart rate, and signals to your body that it's safe to rest. For many older adults, daily stress, health worries, or even the pressure to get to sleep can keep the mind active at night. Using this breathing exercise while sipping your warm drink can create a powerful double effect, soothing both body and mind before bed. I'm reminded of George and Evelyn, a couple in their late 70s living in Arizona. For years, they struggled with broken sleep, often waking 2 or 3 times each night. George would get up to read the news on his tablet, while Evelyn would watch late-night TV in the living room. They both felt sluggish in the mornings and relied heavily on afternoon naps just to get through the day. After learning about the ginger, honey, and cinnamon recipe, they decided to try it, but they also committed to changing their bedtime habits. They turned off all screens an hour before bed and began sitting together with dimmed lights, talking quietly or listening to soft music. They set their bedroom thermostat to 66 degrees and kept a lightweight blanket within reach in case they needed extra warmth. Most importantly, they practiced the 4-7-8 breathing while drinking their evening tea. Within a week, they noticed a big difference. George no longer felt the urge to grab his tablet in the middle of the night, and Evelyn stopped waking up from feeling overheated. They began sleeping in longer stretches, and their mornings felt lighter, calmer, and more energetic. Evelyn told me that it wasn't just about sleeping better. It was about ending the day in a way that felt peaceful and connected. The lesson is clear. The right habits can make a good remedy even more effective. By lowering blue light, keeping a comfortable temperature, and using calming breathing techniques, you give your body every signal it needs to rest deeply. Paired with the warm, soothing drink, these practices can help you reclaim nights of uninterrupted sleep and mornings filled with the energy to truly enjoy the day ahead. Mistakes that can make the recipe less effective. Even the best natural remedies can lose their impact if they're not prepared or used the right way. The ginger, honey, and cinnamon drink is no exception. When made properly, it can support deep, restful sleep and even help with comfort issues like cold feet or nighttime restlessness. But when small details are overlooked, the results may be disappointing, leading some people to think the recipe doesn't work. Understanding these common mistakes can help you get the most from this gentle bedtime ritual. One of the biggest errors is drinking the mixture right after a large, heavy dinner. When your stomach is overly full, your body is focused on digestion, not on preparing for rest. A busy digestive system keeps your heart rate slightly higher and can even cause bloating or acid reflux when you lie down. This makes it harder to relax and may interrupt your sleep before it even begins. Ideally, enjoy your last main meal 2 to 3 hours before bedtime. Then have the drink when your stomach feels comfortable but not empty. This allows your body to absorb its benefits without competing with a heavy digestive workload. Another mistake is using low-quality dried ginger instead of fresh ginger root. While dried ginger has its uses in cooking, much of the fresh warming oil is lost in the drying process, and poor storage can leave it stale and lacking in active compounds. Fresh ginger contains gingerol, the compound responsible for much of its anti-inflammatory and circulation-boosting effects. If you want the full benefit, choose a firm, fragrant ginger root, peel it, and crush or slice it just before boiling. This releases the oils and aroma that signal freshness and potency. The same attention to quality is crucial for the honey. Many bottles sold in grocery stores labeled honey are actually blends of honey and cheaper sweeteners like corn syrup. These lack the natural enzymes, antioxidants, and slow-release sugars that make pure honey effective for supporting stable blood sugar during the night. Worse, some may contain additives that your body doesn't need. Look for labels that say 100% raw honey or pure honey, ideally from a trusted local beekeeper. Raw honey may crystallize over time, a sign that it hasn't been overheated or overly processed. The cinnamon you use also matters more than many people realize. Most cinnamon sold in the United States is cassia cinnamon, which contains higher levels of coumarin, a natural compound that can strain the liver if consumed regularly in large amounts. For regular use, especially for older adults, Ceylon cinnamon is the safer choice. It has a lighter, sweeter flavor and far less coumarin, making it ideal for nightly use. Check the label before you buy, as Ceylon is often clearly marked, but may be sold in smaller specialty sections. I recall a viewer named Helen, a 71-year-old from North Carolina, who wrote to me saying she had tried the recipe for 2 weeks without any improvement in her sleep. She felt frustrated, thinking she must be one of the people it just doesn't work for. After asking a few questions, I discovered she had been making several of these mistakes at once. She drank the mixture right after a heavy dinner, used old powdered ginger from the back of her pantry, a generic honey blend from the discount aisle, and regular cassia cinnamon. Helen decided to make a few changes. She switched to fresh ginger, slicing a 1-inch piece for each cup. She bought raw clover honey from a local farm stand and ordered Ceylon cinnamon online. She also moved her drink to about 45 minutes before bed, long after her evening meal had settled. Within 4 nights, she noticed she was falling asleep faster and waking less often. By the second week, she reported sleeping 6 to 7 hours straight, something she hadn't done in years. Her story is a reminder that natural remedies are only as good as the care you put into them. Each ingredient has a purpose, and each step of the process contributes to the overall effect. If one part is weakened, whether by timing, quality, or preparation, the result can be disappointing. The good news is that these mistakes are easy to fix. By allowing time after dinner, using fresh and high-quality ingredients, and choosing the safer Ceylon cinnamon, you give the recipe every chance to work as intended. With these adjustments, you can turn an "it didn't work" experience into the beginning of better, more peaceful nights. And that's worth the small extra effort, safety advice, and when to consult your doctor. Natural remedies like the ginger honey and Ceylon cinnamon drink can be gentle and supportive, but they are not without considerations. For older adults, especially those managing ongoing health conditions, knowing when to pause and seek medical guidance is just as important as knowing how to prepare the recipe correctly. Being informed helps you protect your health while still enjoying the comfort of a natural bedtime routine. If you are taking blood-thinning medications, such as warfarin, clopidogrel, or certain newer anticoagulants, you should speak with your doctor before adding large amounts of ginger or cinnamon to your daily diet. Both can have mild natural blood-thinning properties, which might amplify the effects of your medication. While a small amount in a nightly drink may be safe, it's better to confirm with your healthcare provider, especially if you've had changes in your medication dosage or recent surgeries. For those taking medication for diabetes, honey's natural sugars require careful consideration. While 1 tablespoon may not cause large spikes for many people, individual responses vary, particularly for those with tighter blood sugar targets. Your doctor or a registered dietitian can help you decide whether to reduce the honey, adjust your timing, or monitor your blood sugar more closely when first trying the recipe. Pregnant women and those who are breastfeeding should also exercise caution. Even natural ingredients can have subtle effects during these times, and what's harmless for most adults may not be ideal during pregnancy or nursing. Cinnamon and ginger in larger doses have been linked in some studies to stimulating effects that may not be advisable in certain stages of pregnancy. While occasional small amounts in cooking are generally considered safe, using them nightly as part of a concentrated drink should be discussed with your doctor or midwife. There are also specific signs that mean it's time to seek medical attention, regardless of whether you are using this recipe or not. If you experience insomnia lasting more than a few weeks, especially if it's affecting your mood, memory, or daily activities, it's worth getting evaluated. Sleep apnea, when breathing stops and starts during sleep, can be serious and is often overlooked in older adults. Signs include loud snoring, gasping for air during the night, and waking with a dry mouth or headache. And if you ever experience chest pain, pressure, or discomfort during the night, you should treat it as a medical emergency. It's always better to be cautious when it comes to your heart. One of the wisest approaches for older adults is to blend modern medicine with natural methods rather than choosing one over the other. If you have a doctor you trust, let them know you're interested in using natural remedies alongside your prescribed care. Many physicians appreciate patients who take an active role in their health and can help you adapt natural routines so they complement your treatment plan instead of conflicting with it. I recall Margaret, a 74-year-old from Colorado who began the ginger, honey and cinnamon drink without telling her doctor. She was on a blood thinner and noticed more frequent bruising after a few weeks. Once she mentioned the drink at a regular appointment, her doctor suggested reducing the ginger slightly and monitoring her blood work more closely. She was able to keep enjoying her evening tea without unnecessary risk. Margaret told me she felt relieved, not restricted, because she now had her doctor's support. The truth is, natural remedies can be a wonderful addition to your health routine, but they work best when you know the boundaries. By being mindful of medications, life stages like pregnancy and warning signs that need medical attention, you can safely enjoy their benefits. You don't have to choose between the wisdom of modern medicine and the gentleness of natural care. You can have both. The key is communication awareness and respect for your body's unique needs. With these in mind, you can continue to explore natural approaches to better sleep, confident that you are protecting your health while nurturing your well-being. Over the past few minutes, we have explored how 3 simple ingredients, fresh ginger, pure honey, and Ceylon cinnamon, can work together to support deeper, more peaceful sleep. Each one offers its own gentle gift. Ginger warms the body and improves circulation. Honey helps stabilize blood sugar through the night, and cinnamon relaxes both body and mind while adding a soothing aroma. When they are combined in the right way, they create more than just a drink. They form a calming nightly ritual that signals your body it is safe to rest. The beauty of this approach is in its simplicity and accessibility. You do not need expensive supplements, complicated machines, or strong medications to enjoy better sleep. Instead, you can rely on natural, affordable ingredients that many of us already have in the kitchen. This is a method that respects both your body and your budget, while helping you reclaim the kind of restorative rest that leaves you feeling clear-headed and energized in the morning. I encourage you to try this recipe for just 3 nights. Prepare it with intention, sip it slowly, and give yourself permission to unwind. Notice how your body responds. Whether you fall asleep more easily, wake less often, or simply feel more refreshed when morning comes. Then share your experience in the comments. Your story could inspire someone else who is quietly struggling to find hope. As you take this small step toward better sleep, remember that caring for yourself is never selfish. It is essential. May your nights be calm and uninterrupted, and your mornings filled with energy, clarity, and the quiet satisfaction of knowing you have chosen a simple, loving way to support your health.